It's ARP fasteners for whatever you race. From 2 wheels to 4. Off-road, on-road, even water. From the flat track to the salt flats. Grassroots racers, weekend warriors, and pros alike trust ARP. Made in America quality, family-owned and operated. When failure is not an option, it's ARP-bolts.com. No matter what you race.
Welcome to our world. A world of dirt, drift, and dodging fate. A world where all of motorsport collides. A world of digging deep, of grit, glory, and bitter defeat. Inhabited by the strong, the fearless, the barely sane. Welcome to our world. Welcome to the world of NOS.
It's a moment of transformation when humans become heroes and training gives way to instinct. In that moment, senses are heightened to new levels. Every sound, every breath, every second that can mean the difference between life and death. Determination is matched only by empathy for those who need you most. In that moment, you need a tool that rises to the challenge. Simple, rugged, reliable. Amcus Rescue Systems, built for the moment.
DIRTVision presents World of Outlaws, NOS Energy Drink Sprint Cars, the pinnacle of dirt track racing. Featuring sprint car racing's best drivers, biggest races.
David Travel is the King's Royal Champion. Slide up in front of Cowboy, and at the line, Cowboy gets the win.
And best coverage.
Welcome back to the greatest show on dirt.
You wanted the best. You got them four abreast.
DIRTVision is home to the greatest shows on dirt.
If there was ever such thing as a beautiful racetrack, you were looking at it right there. Night number one, a triumphant return for the greatest show on dirt to Canada and a triumphant return to Ohsweken. Welcome in once again to DIRTVision's live coverage of the World of Outlaws NOS Energy Drink Sprint Car Series and the Federated Auto Parts Ohsweken Showdown. Tonight, the Outlaws wrap up 2 nights here at Ohsweken Speedway. They'll take 2 days off and will be at Cornwall Motor Speedway on Sunday to wrap up the Canadian Swing. Night number one of this Canadian Swing was a lot of fun. The first outlaw race at Ohsweken since 2017 delivered great racing all night long, and in last night's 30-lap feature, a lot of slide jobs all throughout the field, and a driver that went to victory lane for, how about this, the 7th time already in 2025, and we're only about halfway through May. Let's kick off DIRTVision's coverage of night 2 by going back to night 1 and taking a look at the highlights.
Jordan Thomas leading it, but David Gravel right on his back bumper into corner number 3. Now Gravel challenged down low for second by the 7S of Chris Windham, way up over the edge of the banking and gathering it back in. Chris Windham Can't make the move, and now he is challenged outside by Bill Baylog. Move the North Pole Nightmare to third, at least for the moment. Wyndham trying to come back at him on the inside. Sheldon now right there with the 41 into turn 3. Sheldon Hodenshield by Carson Macedo to take 5th. Jordan Thomas struggling in traffic, and David Gravel trying to capitalize. He drives around the outside. David Gravel, your new leader into turn 3. Thomas back to his inside in turns 3 and 4. 12 laps down, and David Gravel leads that 12th circuit. Bill Baylog now closing in on Thomas for the 2nd spot. The North Pole Nightmare, a look to the inside. He'll make the slider work in 3 and 4. Thomas trying to work his way up to Bill Baylog, and now Sheldon Hodenshield to the inside of Thomas. Sheldon Hodenshield is 3rd down. Caution on the speedway. Debris on the speedway in turn 4. David Gravel brings us back to green flag action. 3 wide momentarily for 2nd. Carson Macedo, a fantastic restart, and he looks for the lead. Macedo to the top spot in turn 2. Carson Macedo to the lead on the restart. Gravel back to his inside, but out of turn 4. The 19th lap is led by car number 41 from the outside of row 4. Macedo, Gravel, Baylog, 1, 2, and 3. Now Gravel back to the inside. David Gravel back to the lead in turn 2. Wyndham trying to come back at Kofoid. Now Donnie Schatz around the outside of Chris Wyndham. Move Donnie Schatz up to 7th to the inside of Buddy Kofoid for 6th. Donnie Schatz, 12th to 6th. Gravel catching the back of the field now, working traffic into turn 3. Sheldon Hodenshield all over Carson Macedo for 2nd. Sheldon to the inside. Oh, they get very close in turn 4. Sheldon Hodenshield 2nd as they cross the line with 2 to go. Gravel into 3 and 4 for the final time. David Gravel wins at Ohsweken on night 1. 2nd goes to Sheldon Hodenshield, Carson Macedo 3rd, Bill Baylog 4th, and Jordan Thomas with a top 5.
David Gravel has camped out in victory lane quite a bit here in 2025 with the World of Outlaws NOS Energy Drink Sprint Cars Series. Of course, getting that 7th win of the season last night. A lot of storylines within the top 10 last night here at Ohsweken. We're going to talk about a couple of them to kick off our Wade's World tonight. I want to talk about one of the most unique things that you see on the road with the greatest show on dirt. It's the alliances that the teams form with each other whenever they travel with each other all year long. And there's perhaps no alliance that's stronger than the Big Game Motorsports number 2 team and the Stenhouse Junior Marshall Racing number 17 team. Of course, David Gravel and Sheldon Hodenshield, the respective drivers of those cars, but the teams travel with each other pretty much every single week. They're hanging out at the racetrack and outside the racetrack. They're always helping each other in the work area or in the pit area throughout the day. They park next to each other just about every single race, and behind the scenes here with the Outlaws, the people on the road have pretty much given them the nickname of Team 217. Last night, it kind of seemed like they actually were one team, especially right after qualifying. After Sheldon Hodenshield set Simpson quit time in Honest Roofing qualifying, well, he blew a motor after breaking a U-joint, so the team had to change the motor on that car and reinstall the entire driveline. The 17 team, with just 2 crew members in addition to Sheldon, had a lot of help from David Gravel, Cody Jacobs, and the Big Game Motorsports number 2 team. And in just about half an hour, give or take, they got Sheldon out, refired the car, and Sheldon made the call for the first heat race and was able to put the car in the dash. That wasn't the last time that we saw the 2 and 17 racing close to each other. They were the top 2 finishers in last night's feature events, and even though they weren't side by side battling for the win on the racetrack in the late stages of that race, a lot of people feel like if that race was just 5 laps longer, Hodenshield had a little bit more traffic, he would have tracked down David Gravel and given him something for that race lead. Well, tonight's feature 5 laps longer, so maybe we do see a little bit more of a battle there towards the end. Still, nonetheless, great to see the 2 and the 17 both running up front. We know how good Gravel's been as of late, and the 17 team really seems to have some speed, especially early on in the night here as of late, and they finished last night strong as well. Now, the 3rd member of last night's podium was the 41 of Carson Macedo, and if you're just a fan watching on DIRTVision or sitting in the stands, you're like, oh, just a business-as-usual night for Carson and the 41 team. However, if you were back in the pits, that team had a really stressful night, and a 3rd place probably felt like a win to them last night. Early on, Carson making an honest mistake in qualifying, thought that he took the green the first time by, so thought that his run was over after he completed his first lap and pulled off, had to start from the 2nd row of a heat race. He did make the dash, however, the wing slider broke in that dash. It made the wing slide all the way back. The car got really tight on him, and he fell back to 8th. But in the feature, they finally got things settled out, running the way they should. Macedo driving all the way up to finish in 3rd. One restart in particular, he went 5th to 1st, sliding David Gravel and battling for the lead for a little bit of time. Was the first time on the podium in a couple weekends for Carson Macedo. So last night, definitely a step in the right direction for Jason Johnson Racing and Carson Macedo in that 41 team.
Our wing, for whatever reason, our wing valve, the wing was going back on its own, and then it would get stuck all the way back, and it just really, manipulates what your car's doing. And so in the dash there, we struggled with that. We fell back, and then in the feature, it was doing it too. But luckily, it just got so slick and slow. I think that it would still kind of turn, rotate around the left front, and we could make speed that way. So hopefully, we got all the gremlins worked out. And it just makes it tough during the night when you're changing that much stuff to be consistent, and really for Philip to take the time to be able to work on the car and put his best foot forward there. So really, we just have to kind of worry about our program and what we're doing and make sure that our process is where it needs to be. And I think that you start looking over your shoulder and worrying about other people, and then you get further behind the 8 ball. So we're just kind of worried about what we're doing, and hopefully we can continue to build on that package and build up some momentum in races to come.
So in addition to the podium last night, the driver that arguably stole the show outside of that was the man that rounded out the top 5. Now, if you've watched 360 sprint car racing in New York or Canada the last decade or so, you've probably heard of Jordan Thomas. But if you're not in that region, you probably haven't. The 26-year-old last night making his name known to World of Outlaws fans, qualifying well, put himself on the front row of a heat race in which he got into the dash, pulled the front row of that dash, got by David Gravel in that race after initially getting passed, and then passed Chris Windham himself to get on the pole of last night's feature with the Outlaws. He led the first 11 laps, pulled out to a mid lead, struggled a little bit in traffic and dirty air late, and lost the lead to David Gravel, and then fell back to 5th, but still in just his 4th start ever with the World of Outlaws NOS Energy Drink Sprint Car Series in feature competition to come away with a 5th place run. That was absolutely incredible for Jordan Thomas and made him really ecstatic about contending with the best sprint car drivers in the world.
All in all, happy with the result. We coming up here weren't really expecting to run 5th at the Outlaws show, so it's a tough pill to swallow though. It turned so many good laps in the beginning of the night and first 10 or 12 laps leading the race. It was a cool experience, and when I got to traffic, it was more like I almost hit a brick wall. The car just came unstable and stood up, and I just couldn't keep it buried left like Gravel could when he got by me. So we got a little bit of work to do to figure that end of it out. It would definitely be a dream of mine to win an Outlaw race, and I think we're close, and we got Paul Colagiovanni supplying us with a motor now, and he seems to be thrilled with the results I've been having with this. So as long as we keep him happy, I think we get to keep racing some 410 stuff.
If you watched last night's broadcast not knowing Jordan Thomas's name, you definitely know it now. Look for the Pennsylvania native to have another good showing tonight against the World of Outlaws NOS Energy Drink Sprint Car Series. Weather conditions today, a little bit warmer, a little bit sunnier, 76 degrees, no precipitation in the area, nice 7-mile-per-hour breeze, sunny and clear skies all day. It's been a lot warmer. Expect this racetrack to slick off a little bit faster than it did last night, early in the night, and maybe be even a little bit slicker for that feature. I think last night was a good taste of what we all know, grew to love about Ohsweken Speedway many years ago, and looking forward to a great night as well. We're pushing cars on track to finish off the Federated Auto Parts Ohsweken Showdown. Hall of Famer John Gibson in the booth. John, last night a lot of fun. Racetrack should be in even better shape tonight, and some of the drivers that run either locally here in Canada or regionally in New York and made the trip up really made a name for themselves last night and have another opportunity to beat the Outlaws here tonight at Ohsweken.
Yeah, definitely. Connor, you and I have talked before about the tendency of Ohsweken Speedway to perhaps produce upset winners. Jordan Thomas nearly got that done last night as we pushed the first of 5 practice sessions for the 37 World of Outlaws NOS Energy Drink Sprint Cars onto the Speedway. First driver out, last night's KSE Hard Charger Award winner from Scotland, Ontario, in the Miska Trailers, Weeks Construction, Ackland Insurance, Hills Racing, Nitro 54, number 47X, Dylan Westbrook. And car number 15T, the Nitro 54 Sitting Bull Tire, Ackland Insurance, Sheriff's Waterproof entry, driver out of Dunnville, Ontario, Ryan Turner. From Beachville, Ontario, the Glen Stires Racing, Wapham Fuels, Ackland Insurance, number 5 of DJ Christie. And from Britain, Michigan, piloting the GSR chassis, Chantarelli Promotions, Ohsweken Speedway, Poor Racing number 22, M10 McCarran. Car number 17X, the Lone Wolf Fireworks, Village Variety and Gas Bar, Mobile 1 entry. Driver out of Tillensburg, Ontario is Corey Turner. And last night's feature winner, the defending World of Outlaws champion from Watertown, Connecticut, the Houston Speedway, BillionAuto.com, Jackson Motorplex, Prosper Real Estate Investments, JRC Transportation number 2 of David Gravel. From Clay, New York, in the Pit Stop Convenience Stores, Schoenfeld Headers, Mucci Motorsports number 98, it's Joe Trenka. And from Six Nations, Ontario, the Townline Variety, Prime Powders, Ackland Insurance, Strode's Barbecue, and Deli number 77X of Alex Hill. World of Outlaws officials making their way onto the speedway. David Gravel trying to point something out. I'm not sure if it's an issue with some debris on the track or the sun. So very shortly, we will get ready for the first of the 5 practice sessions for the World of Outlaws NOS Energy Drink Sprint Car Series. Green flag waving on the opening practice session. Once all drivers have completed a lap, start to see the times here in the tower. And Dylan Westbrook so far quickest 13.569. Ryan Turner 13.583. David Gravel 13.721. DJ Christie now to the top of the speed chart, 13.367. Ryan Turner, 13.396. David Gravel now in position 1 at a 13.239. Checkered flag waving on the opening practice session of the evening. Fastest driver in practice session number 1, David Gravel, a time of 13.239 seconds. Ryan Turner second quick at a 13.324. DJ Christie third, 13.367. Dylan Westbrook and Corey Turner round out the top 5 as group number 2 gets set to roll onto Ohsweken Speedway. First driver out for practice session number 2 from Beamsville, Ontario, the JNE Recovery, Julie Swayze Remax, Ackland Insurance, Eagle Towing Equipment, number 88H of Josh Hansen. And from Ohsweken, Ontario, in the Arrow Express, Babineau Septic Services, JR's Riverside Bait and Tackle, Route 54 Variety and Gas, number 77T, Tyler Paulus. From Sussex, New Jersey, in the Dave Franek Auto Sales, Rapid Tire, Escape RV, Atlantic Battery 28F, it's Davey Franek. And a World of Outlaws Rookie of the Year contender out of Sikeston, Missouri, the TK Concrete, Maxim Trucking, Logan Contractor Supply, Zip Bond Smokers, Choice Cigar Bar, Inland Rigging, number 55, Hunter Schurenberg. Another World of Outlaws Rookie contender from Columbia, Missouri, the SNS Nationwide, CSC Group, LRI, Eagle Stop, Missouri Games, Impact Signs, Abbott Telecom, number 23, of Garrett Williamson. And from Thamesford, Ontario, the Legacy Holdings, D&O Towing, MJ Trucking, Ackland Insurance, number 7 of Eric Gledhill. Car number 45, the Pride Seeds, Vibrant Farms, APC, Connell's Construction, Reynolds Trucking Entry. Driver from Mountain Bridges, Ontario is Nick Sheridan. And from Dunville, Ontario, the Bodyline Auto Recyclers, Jansen Enterprises, Bucks by Tatra, Heaslip Ford, KF Construction, number 46 of Kevin Pauls. Second practice session for the World of Outlaws NOS Energy Drink Sprint Car Series. and white checkered practice sessions for the remaining 4 groups of cars. Garrett Williamson so far the fastest in this session, 13.499 seconds. That is 4th quickest overall. Nick Sheridan at a 13.670. Hunter Schoenberg now at a 13.595. Fastest driver in practice session number 2, 4th quickest overall so far, Garrett Williamson in car number 23. Garrett Williamson's lap time, 13.499 seconds. David Gravel still quickest, Ryan Turner 2nd, DJ Christie 3rd, then Williamson 4th, and Dylan Westbrook in the 5th spot. Group number 3 rolling out for their practice session from Port Lambton, Ontario. The Johnson's Garage, ER Shep, Saw Solutions, RT Shocks, 28K of Tate O'Leary. And from Tonawanda, New York, driving the Airport Collision Fiberworks Composites, number 94, Todd Hoddick. World of Outlaws rookie contender from Lemoore, California. The 2C Racing Outlaw Wings, Durst Wedge High Performance Cards, Kaiser Aluminum Wheels, number 2C of Cole Macedo. And from Niagara-on-the-Lake, Ontario, the Ohsweken Speedway, GSR Chassis, Glenn Stires Racing, Chantrelli Promotions, Core Pack number 52 of Stuart Friesen. From Worcester, Ohio, in the NOS Energy Drink, West Tennessee Expediting, Frozen Farmer, Maximum Oil number 17, Sheldon Hodenshield. And last season's World of Outlaws Rookie of the Year from Pen Grove, California, piloting the Toyota Racing Development Mobile 1 Roth Motorsports Roth Enterprises HR Livestock Transportation number 83, Buddy Kofoid. And from Canton, Illinois, in the NOS Energy Drink King Racing Products, Jim Shooknecht, High Performance Lubricants, Phillips and Tosco Developers number 7S, leading Rookie of the Year contender Chris Windham. 3rd practice session for the World of Outlaws NOS Energy Drink Sprint Car Series, the Federated Auto Parts Ohsweken Showdown. Caution on the speedway, car slowing in turns 3 and 4, and it is the 83 of Buddy Kofoid. Buddy Kofoid off the pace early in practice session number 3. Kofoid headed back to the pit area as we resume green flag conditions. Chris Windham turning a 13.827. Cole Macedo into the top 5 at a 13.544. Sheldon Hodenshield up to 2nd overall at a 13.305. Chris Windham 4th overall at a 13.358. And Sheldon Hodenshield to the top of the speed chart as the checkered flag waves with a 13.150. Fastest driver in session number 3, fastest overall in warm-ups now in the number 17, Sheldon Hodenshield. His time 13.150 seconds. David Gravel 2nd, Ryan Turner 3rd, Chris Windham 4th, and DJ Christie 5th. Down in the pit area, hood is off of the Roth Enterprises number 83. Crew trying to diagnose the issue there. In the meantime, practice session number 4 rolls onto the speedway, led by car number 77E, the Nitro 54, Iroquois Concrete and Construction, United Compressed Air 87 speed entry. Driver out of Ohsweken, Ontario is Ashton Van Every. And from Geneva, New York, the Frado Curbing Speedway Performance DMI number 22 of Jonathan Preston. From Fresno, California, the Iowa Contracting, Carmen Trucking, BSM Enterprises, Creative Planning, number 18, Hot Sauce Giovanni Selzy. And the 10-time World of Outlaws champion from Fargo, North Dakota, in the CarQuest Curb Martin One Source, number 15, is Donnie Schatz. From Leduc, Alberta, driving the Warrior Building Development, Building Packages, Direct Nelson Brothers Construction, Pack Rat Dumpsters, number 99, Skylar G. And from Hanover, Pennsylvania, aboard the Federated Auto Parts Dryden Duramax C&D Rigging Shark Racing, number 1S, Logan Schuhart. The Alaska native now living in Heartland, Wisconsin, the Anderson's Pure Maple Syrup, Honest Abe Roofing, Sam I Am, DSG, number 17B, the North Pole Nightmare, Bill Baylog. Fourth practice session of the evening for the World of Outlaws NOS Energy Drink Sprint Car Series. Sheldon Hodgeshield, now the man everyone is chasing in practice as far as speeds and lap times are concerned with his 13.150. Giovanni Selzy, closest so far, fourth overall to 13.328. Donnie Schatz goes to 13.386. Checkered flag in the air for practice session number 4 of 5. Fastest driver in the fourth practice session, fourth quickest overall so far, Giovanni Selzy in the number 18 with a lap time of 13.328 seconds. Sheldon Hodgeshield still quickest, David Gravel second, Ryan Turner third, Giovanni Selzy fourth, and Chris Windham rounds out the top 5. Fifth and final practice session, rolling onto the speedway. Man who led early last night in the feature from Harding, Pennsylvania, driving the C&D Rigging, Valley Chevrolet Mechanical Service Company, Pribula Industries, White Bread Enterprises, number 79, Jordan Thomas. And from St. Matthew Day, Belize, Quebec, in the FM Industries, Glenn Stiers Racing M3S, Coffridge Four Seasons, number 28, Jordan Poirier. Rookie of the Year contender from Indianapolis, Indiana, in the C&D Rigging, Mesilla Valley Transportation, Tully's Heating and Cooling, Steve Butler Yacht Charters, Hellraiser Jacks, number 6, Zach Hampton. And another World of Outlaws rookie contender from Bradenton, Florida, in the Tub of Tiles, Amalie Oil, USA Steel Fence, Adams Transport, number 28, M. Connor Morrell. From Port Jervis, New York, in the Sterling Lubricants, Randy's Racing Filters, Paul Waynow Snap-on Tools, number 10, the Billy Van Inwagen. And from outside of Turn 2 here at Ohsweken Speedway, driving the Ohsweken Speedway GSR Chassis Creative Edge, Chaparral Promotions, number 0, Glenn Stiers. And from Lemoore, California, the all-by-your alternative MVT, Tarleton & Sons, Sage Family, Scott Boyd Family, Complete Parts and Equipment Solutions, number 41, Carson Macedo. Final practice session on the final night of the Federated Auto Parts Ohsweken Showdown. Practice session is underway. Jordan Thomas at a 13.676, quickest out of these drivers so far. Now Carson Macedo into the top 10. Connor Morrell surpassing him. Morrell up to 8th at a 13.443. Macedo now into the 8th spot at a 13.428 as we wave the checkered flag for the final time in World of Outlaws practice for 2025 at Ohsweken Speedway. Carson Macedo fastest in the final session, 13.428 seconds. Sheldon Hodenshield quickest overall, 13.150. David Gravel second, 13.239. Ryan Turner third, 13.324. Giovanni Solzi fourth and Chris Wyndham fifth, followed by DJ Christie in sixth. Donnie Schatz seventh, Carson Macedo eighth, Connor Morrell ninth, and Garrett Williamson rounding out the top 10. Very quickly down to a report in the pit area from Connor Wade.
And Buddy Crowfoot essentially said that the car would not run. The crew changing spark plugs under the hood of the number 83. They're going to fire the car off real quick. Buddy just got back in the race car. They're the 18th car out to qualify as of now, John.
Thank you, Connor Wade. A reminder, you can win real money from the World of Outlaws NOS Energy Drink Sprint Car Series. Play World of Outlaws for cash. All the information you need is at playdirtcar.com. The online booking, or pardon me, the online sportsbook options, as well as the daily fantasy sports options there as well. It's all at playdirtcar.com. Honest Abe Roofing qualifying, set to roll onto the speedway. 2 cars at a time, 2 laps on the clock. Faster of those 2 laps scored is that driver's official qualifying time for tonight's race program. First pair on the speedway from Clay, New York, the Pit Stop Convenience Store, Schoenfeld Headers, Mucci Motorsports, number 98 of Joe Trinka. And paired with him, last night's feature winner, the defending series champion from Watertown, Connecticut, the Houston Speedway, BillionAuto.com, Jackson Motorplex, Prosper Real Estate Investments, CRC Transportation, number 2 of David Gravel. Joe Trinka in 98, David Gravel in car number 2. Gravel's victory last night, his best in 6 World of Outlaws starts here at Ohsweken. Joe Trinka 24th in feature action last night. His opening lap time 13.797, 13797. First time across the line for David Gravel is quick time at a 13.549, 13549. Trinka out of turn 4 for his second lap. It is a 13.823. He'll stay with lap 1 at a 13.797. And for David Gravel, the second time around is faster at a 13.219, 13219. Quickest so far for David Gravel early on in Honest Abe Roofing qualifying. Next 2 drivers to make their way on to the speedway. From Tillensburg, Ontario, the Lone Wolf Fireworks, Village Variety, and Gas Bar Mobil 117X of Corey Turner. And from Scotland, Ontario, the Miska Trailers, Weeks Construction, Ackland Insurance, Hills Racing, Nitro 54, number 47X of Dylan Westbrook. Corey Turner in 17X, Dylan Westbrook in the 47X. Turner 18th in last night's World of Outlaws feature. First time around for Corey Turner, 13.934, 13934. Dylan Westbrook's opening lap second quick at a 13.772, 13772. Westbrook picking up the KSE Hard Charger Award last night in feature competition. Corey Turner now second quick at a 13.385, 13385. Westbrook's second lap time. Now he's back to second at a 13.382, 13382. Dylan Westbrook second, Corey Turner third so far. Next 2 to make their way out from Beachville, Ontario, Glenn Stires Racing, Wampum Fuels, Ackland Insurance, number 5 of DJ Christie. And from Britain, Michigan, the GSR Chassis, Chantarelli Promotions, Ohsweken Speedway, Poor Racing, 22M of Dan McCarran. DJ Christie in 5, Dan McCarran in 22M. Christie 16th in last night's Microlight Last Chance Showdown. McCarran 13th in that event in his second appearance of the season with the Greatest Show on Dirt. First lap time for DJ Christie, 14, James Bond, 14.007. Second lap time for Dan McCarran is a 14.319, 14319. McCarran's best sprint car finish this year, 8th at Attica Raceway Park. Second time for Christie, 14.292. His first lap official, 14.007. And for Dan McCarran, the second lap time is better. It is 4th quick now at a 13.780, 13780. Leading your next 2 Honest Abe Roofing qualifiers trackside from Dunnville, Ontario, the Nitro 54 Sit and Bull Tire Ackland Insurance Chair is waterproof, number 15T of Ryan Turner. And from Six Nations, Ontario, the Town Line Variety, Prime Powders, Ackland Insurance, Strode's Barbecue and Deli, number 77X of Alex Hill. Ryan Turner, 15T. Alex Hill in 77X. Turner, 19th last night. His best in 4 World of Outlaws starts at the Ohsweken Speedway. Alex Hill last night, 9th in the Microlight Last Chance Showdown. Her best in 3 World of Outlaws starts here as well. Ryan Turner, lap 1, 4th quick, 13.686, 13686. First time by for Alex Hill is a 14.176, 141.76. Second time by for Ryan Turner, 13.874. First lap official with 13.686. Alex Hill's second lap time is better. It is a 14.126, 141.26. Next two out from Sussex, New Jersey. Behind the wheel of the Dave Franick Auto Sales Rapid Tire Escape RV Atlantic Battery, number 28F, Davey Franick. And from Beamsville, Ontario, the J&E Recovery, Julie Swayze Remax, Ackland Insurance, Eagle Towing Equipment, 88H of Josh Hansen. Davey Franick in 28F, Josh Hansen in the 88H. Franick fifth in last night's Microlight Last Chance Showdown, missing the feature by one spot. Hansen just behind him in sixth, lap number one, for Davey Franick, 14.146, 141.46. Josh Hansen goes 14.199, 141.99. Franick, USCS 360 wins twice this season in Florida and Alabama. His second lap, 14.164, first lap better at 14.146. Josh Hansen's second lap time is a 14.499, first lap better at 14.199. Next two to hit the speedway from Ohsweken, Ontario, the Arrow Express, Babineau Septic Services, JR's Riverside Paint and Tackle, Route 54 Variety, and gas number 77T of Tyler Paulus. And from Columbia, Missouri, behind the wheel of the SNS Nationwide CSC Group LRI, Eagle Stop Missouri Games Impact Signs, Abbott Telecom, number 23, Garrett Williamson. Tyler Paulus in 77T, Garrett Williamson in the 23. Williamson 23rd in the feature in his Ohsweken Speedway debut last night. Paulus involved in a crash and heat race action was done for the night. First lap time for Tyler Paulus, 14.390, 143.90. Quick time for Garrett Williamson at a 13.091, 13091. Quick time for Garrett Williamson. Paulus on lap two, 14.684. First lap better at 14.390. Williamson second lap, 13.328. But Garrett Williamson now fastest in Honest Abe Roofing, qualifying at 13.091 seconds. Next two to make their way trackside include a World of Outlaws Rookie of the Year contender out of Sykeston, Missouri, the TK Concrete, Maxim Trucking, Logan Contractor Supply, Zipwon Smoker's Choice Cigar Bar, Inland Rigging number 55. That is Hunter Schurenberg, and joining him from Dunnville, Ontario, the Bodyline Auto Recyclers, Jansen Enterprises, Bucks by Tatra, Heaslip Ford FK Construction, number 46, Kevin Pauls. Hunter Schurenberg in 55, Kevin Pauls in the 46. Pauls 17th in last night's Microlight Last Chance Showdown. Schurenberg 15th in the feature in his Ohsweken debut. First time for Schurenberg, 8th quick, 13.856, 138.56. First time around for Kevin Pauls, 15.141, 141. Second lap for Hunter Schurenberg is a 14.060. First lap quicker at 13.856. Kevin Pauls on lap two goes 15.121, 151.21. From Kempsford, Ontario, in the Legacy Holdings, DNO Towing, MJ Trucking, Ackland Insurance, number 7, that is Eric Gledhill. And paired with him from Mount Bridges, Ontario, the Pride Seeds, Vibrant Farms, APC, Connell's Construction, Reynolds Trucking, number 45, Nick Sheridan. Eric Gledhill in the 7, Nick Sheridan in the 45. Gledhill 8th in last night's Microlight Last Chance Showdown. Sheridan 17th in the feature in his World of Outlaws debut. First lap for Eric Gledhill is 14th quick, 14.672, 146.72. Nick Sheridan's first lap time is 12th fastest at a 14.150, 114.151. Second time by for Gledhill, better at a 14.476, 144.76. Sheridan goes 14.557. He'll stand on that first lap time of 14.151. Another World of Outlaws Rookie of the Year contender leads the next pair out. From Lemoore, California, the 2C Racing Outlaw Wings, Durst Wedge High Performance Cards, Kaiser Aluminum Wheels, number 2C of Cole Macedo. And Buddy Kofoid back out in the number 83, last season's Rookie of the Year. Kofoid from Pen Grove, California. That's the Toyota Racing Development, Local 1, Rock Motorsports, Rock Enterprises, HR Livestock Transportation entry. Kofoid finished 7th last night in his Ohsweken Speedway debut. Cole Macedo, 13th. Opening lap for Cole Macedo, 6th quick, 13.721, 137.21. Buddy Kofoid on lap 1, 15th fastest, 14.315, 143.15. Copewood running a low line in 1 and 2, and in 3 and 4. Macedo rips the top. His second lap 13.941. First lap better 13.721. Copewood now 5th quick on lap number 2 at a 13.610.13.610. Buddy Copewood goes downstairs and works his way into the top 5. Leading the next 2 drivers onto the speedway from Port Lambton, Ontario, the Johnson's Garage, ER Shep and Saw Solutions RT Shocks 28K of Tate O'Leary. And from Tonawanda, New York, in the Airport Collision Fiberworks Composites, number 94, Todd Hoddick. Problem for Tate O'Leary in the 28K, you can tell that car is not up to full song. Meanwhile, Todd Hoddick in the number 94, last night his first visit with the World of Outlaws since 2014, and his 16th place run is his best with the series. Oh, Hoddick over the wall, upside down! Hoddick flipping wildly into corner number 3. Todd Hoddick caught the wall coming out of turn 2. It sent him up over the edge of the racetrack and flipping into corner number 3. We are under red flag conditions in Honest Abe Roofing qualifying. Work over the Racing Electronics World of Outlaws radio system. Todd Hoddick okay over in turn 3. Taking a look at the DIRTVision replay as Hoddick makes his way up high out of corner number 2, and you can see the tap of the wall right there. Tries to gather it back in, but you can see that right rear tire is shredding as he makes his way down the backstretch, and then it just whips sideways on him, sends him over the banking and upside down. Again, the good news, Todd Hoddick is okay after a scary-looking crash here in Honest Abe Roofing qualifying. We have qualified 19 of the 37 cars that have signed in for racing action. Garrett Williamson, the quickest so far at 13.091 seconds. David Gravel second at a 13.219. Dylan Westbrook currently in the 3rd spot. Corey Turner is 4th, and Buddy Kofoid rounds out the top 5. Ryan Turner currently sits 6th. Cole Macedo is 7th. Dan McCarron 8th. Joe Trenka 9th, and Hunter Schurenberg completing the top 10. So we are just beyond the halfway point in tonight's Honest Abe Roofing qualifying session. The order for Honest Abe Roofing qualifying determined by a random draw as the drivers registered for the race program earlier this afternoon. Lap times in the low 13-second bracket by the drivers at the top of the speed chart so far. Still about a second off of the existing track record here at the Ohsweken Speedway, which was set on July 30th of 2010 by Craig Kinzer. That record is 12.047 seconds. It's an average speed of 106.383 miles per hour. For World of Outlaws NOS Energy Drink Sprint Car Series timing and scoring purposes, we measure Ohsweken Speedway at slightly less than 3/8 of a mile in distance, 0.356 miles, with that measurement made at the midpoint between the inside and outside retaining walls. Another look at the DIRTVision replay as Todd Hoddick made his way out of corner number 2. You can see just the jerk of the steering wheel right there. Knew he was drifting high. Got it into the wall, and then, again, that right rear tire just absolutely shredding down the backstretch. And as he got over the edge of the banking, it sent the car upside down. Tate O'Leary still has 1 lap remaining on the clock in the 28K. Set to refire the engine on Tate O'Leary's number 28K. O'Leary 15th in the Microlight Last Chance Showdown last night. His first time ever with the World of Outlaws, his first time here at Ohsweken Speedway, and his first night out for 2025. So Tate O'Leary on the clock for his second of 2 Honest Abe Roofing qualifying laps. Second lap time, a 15.989, 15.989. That's the faster of the 2 Honest Abe Roofing qualifying laps for Tate O'Leary in the 28K. Next 2 drivers making his way onto the speedway. World of Outlaws regulars, including the leading rookie contender out of Canton, Illinois, the NOS Energy Drink King Racing Products, Jim Shook, High Performance Lubricants, Phillips, Tosco Developers, 7S of Chris Wyndham, and last night's feature runner-up from Worcester, Ohio, the NOS Energy Drink, West Tennessee Expediting Frozen Farmer, Maximum Oil, number 17, Sheldon Hodenshield. Chris Wyndham in the 7S, Sheldon Hodenshield in the 17. Wyndham 10th last night in the feature. Sheldon Hodenshield, that runner-up finish, his best in 2 World of Outlaws starts here at Ohsweken. Chris Wyndham's opening lap, 8th quick, 13.728, 13.728. First time by for Sheldon, 5th fastest at a 13.479, 13.479. Second lap for Wyndham, 3rd quick at a 13.255, 13.255. Sheldon Hodenshield, 2nd quick at a 13.157, 13.157. Second quick for Sheldon Hodenshield, and 4th fastest for Chris Wyndham. Leading the next 2 drivers trackside from Niagara on the Lake, Ontario, in the Ohsweken Speedway GSR chassis, Glenn Stires Racing, Chantarelli Promotions, Core Pack number 52, Stuart Friesen. And joining him from Hanover, Pennsylvania, Federated Auto Parts, Dryden Duramax, C&D Rigging, Shark Racing, 1S of Logan Schuhart. Stuart Friesen in 52, Logan Schuhart in 1S. Friesen finished 21st in last night's feature. Logan Schuhart was 12th. First lap time for Stuart Friesen, 7th quick at a 13.578, 13.578. Schuhart now 7th at a 13.530, 13.530. Stuart Friesen, a World of Outlaws winner here on July 28th of 2015. Second time for Friesen is a 13.997. First lap better, 13.578. Logan Schuhart faster on lap 2 at a 13.509, 13.509. Schuhart 7th quick so far, Stuart Friesen 8th. Next 2 drivers out. The Alaskan native living in Heartland, Wisconsin, the Anderson's Pure Maple Syrup, Honest Abe Roofing, Sam IF, DSG 17B, the North Pole Nightmare, Bill Baylog. And from Ohsweken, Ontario, the Nitro 54, Iroquois Concrete and Construction, and United Compressed Air 87 Speed, number 77E of Ashton Van Every. Bill Baylog, 17B, Ashton Van Every in 77E. Baylog 4th last night in his Ohsweken Speedway debut. Ashton Van Every finished 10th in last night's Microlight Last Chance, shown on his first time racing with the World of Outlaws. Baylog 7th quick at a 13.469, 13.469. Van Every goes 14.223, 14.223. Second lap for Bill Baylog, 13.775. First lap quicker at 13.469, 7th fastest so far. And for Ashton Van Every, the second lap time is a 14.360. First lap a little bit better at a 14.223. We'll get things slowed down here as Ashton Van Every was still on the racetrack. Next 2 drivers on the speedway from Geneva, New York, the Frado Curbing Speedway Performance DMI number 22 of Jonathan Preston. And from Fresno, California, in the Iowa Contracting, Carmen Trucking, BSM Enterprises, Creative Planning number 18, Hot Sauce, Giovanni Selzy. Jonathan Preston, 22, Giovanni Selzy in the 18. Preston at 22nd last night. His only World of Outlaws appearance of the season. Giovanni Selzy finished 8th in his debut here at Ohsweken. Lap 1 for Preston, 15th quick, 13.824, 13.824. Giovanni Selzy is 7th fastest now at a 13.465, 13.465. Second time by for Preston into the top 10 at a 13.564, 13.564. Giovanni Selzy, second lap, 13.513. First lap quicker, 13.465. Next 2 to make their way onto the speedway for Honest Abe Roofing qualifying from Leduc, Alberta, the Warrior Building Development, Building Packages Direct, Nelson Brothers Construction, Pack Rat Dumpsters number 99 of Skylar G. And the 10-time World of Outlaws champion from Fargo, North Dakota in the CarQuest Curve Martin One Source number 15, it's Donnie Schatz. Skylar G in 99, Donnie Schatz in 15. Skylar G's first appearance at Ohsweken last night resulted in a 14th place finish in the Microlight Last Chance Showdown. Donnie Schatz 6th in last night's feature, a 4-time World of Outlaws winner here. Lap 1 for Skylar G, 13.594, 13.594, that is 12th fastest. Donnie Schatz on his opening lap goes 19th quick at a 13.966, 13.966. Second lap for G, 14.232, first lap better at 13.594. And for Donnie Schatz, the second time around is better at his 16th quick at a 13.745, 13.745. From outside turn 2 here at Ohsweken Speedway, driving the Ohsweken Speedway GSR chassis, Creative Edge Chantarelli Promotions number 0, it's Glenn Stiers. And the man who led 11 laps in last night's feature from Harding, Pennsylvania, the C&D Rigging, Valley Chevrolet, Mechanical Service Company, Primula Industries, White Red Enterprises, number 79, Jordan Thomas. Glenn Stiers in the 0, Jordan Thomas in 79. Stiers last night winning the late model feature before finishing 11th in the Microlight Last Chance Showdown with the World of Outlaws. His opening lap is a 14.262, 14.262. Jordan Thomas on lap 1, 21st fastest, 14.095, 14.095. Thomas, a 5th generation sprint car driver. The family's been at it for over 100 years. Second lap time for Stiers, 14.236, 14.236. Jordan Thomas up to 19th quick on lap 2 at a 13.824, 13.824. Leading the next two Honest Abe Roofing qualifiers to the Speedway from Lemoore, California, the all-by-your alternative MVT, Tarleton and Sun Sage family, Scott Boyd family, Complete Parts and Equipment Solutions, number 41, Carson Macedo. And a Rookie of the Year contender out of Bradenton, Florida, in the Tub of Tiles, Amalie Oil, USA Steel Fence, Adam Transport, number 28M, Connor Morrell. Carson Macedo in 41, Connor Morrell in 28M. Macedo last night a 3rd place finisher, Northern Nationals win here in 2017. Morrell made his Ohsweken Speedway World of Outlaws debut last night, finished 20th. He was 7th here with the ESS in 2019. Macedo's first lap, 14th quick, 13.640, 13.640. Connor Morrell, 21st fastest, 13.851, 13.851. Carson Macedo up to 7th quick on lap 2, 13.415, 13.415. Connor Morrell 6th quick at a 13.383, 13.383. 6th quick for Connor Morrell and 8th fastest for Carson Macedo. Rookie of the Year contender from Indianapolis, Indiana, the C&D Rigging, Mesilla Valley Transportation, Tully's Heating and Cooling, Steve Butler Yacht Charters, Hellraiser Jacks, number 6 of Zach Hampton. And from St. Matthew de Bolley, Quebec, in the FM industry is Glenn Stiers Racing M3S Conference 4 Seasons, number 28, Jordan Boyer. Zach Hampton in the 6th, Jordan Boyer in the 28th. Hampton finished 9th in his Ohsweken debut last night. 14th last night, Jordan Boyer's only World of Outlaws start here. He's been here 16 times with 2 4th place runs. Hampton's opening lap, 13.806, 13.806. Boyer, 13.851, 13.851. Hampton 21st, Boyer 23rd so far. Second lap for Zach Hampton up to 17th quick at a 13.701, 13.701. Jordan Boyer's second lap time is a 13.893. His first lap was quicker at 13.851. And that brings our final Honest Abe Roofing qualifier onto the Speedway from Port Jervis, New York, in the Sterling Lubricants, Randy's Racing Filters, Paul Waynow Snap-on Tools, number 10V, Billy Van Inwagen. Billy Van Inwagen in the number 10V. Was 7th last night in the Microlight Last Chance Showdown, his only World of Outlaws start here at Ohsweken. 6 career starts overall, best finish 5th with the Empire Super Sprints in 2019. He was a 2-time ESS winner last season. Lap 1 for Billy V is a 13.995, 13 at 995. Van Inwagen, 3rd with the CRSA Sprints at Outlaw, New York earlier this season. Second time by is better. It's a 13.951, 13.951. That concludes Honest Abe Roofing qualifying for the World of Outlaws NOS Energy Drink Sprint Car Series. Your fast qualifier tonight's Simpson Quick Time Award winner in car number 23, Garrett Williamson. Williamson's time, 13.091 seconds. Sheldon Hodenschild, 2nd quick at a 13.157. David Gravel, 3rd at 13.219. Chris Wyndham, 4th, and Dylan West Westbrook rounds out the top 5. Connor Morrell times in 6th quickest. Corey Turner was 7th. Carson Macedo 8th. Giovanni Sulzi 9th. And Bill Baylog rounds out your top 10 as we send it downstairs to Connor Wade.
Well, this is big. Who saw this coming? Garrett Williamson, first career quick time with the Outlaws. Even when you had gone out, everybody basically around the top, you never left the middle. Why'd that work for you?
I just watched Dave go out, and Dave was really good around the bottom. And so a few guys later in the hot lap sessions went down there, and there's a lot of grip down there. Something this track, doesn't have much of is a lot of wet dirt. So kind of chased that, and we were really good. After last night, we kind of threw a whole new package at the car, but I think it's just trusting the process. We're rookies. I mean, we haven't been to any of these tracks. Me and Chatty both are fresh at all these places, so I think just give us the same place tries. We'll learn from our mistakes, and I think we're doing that right now. So just got to put a full night together. This is a huge step for us in quick time and qualifying good. So just keep plugging away at it. I can't thank the Fisher family enough for giving us the opportunity to go out on the road with the Outlaws, and Linda Repair, S&S Nationwide, Missouri Games, Phillips 66, Eagle Stop, Impact Signs on it and wraps, Medalist Brakes. There's so many great partners that are on this race car that love watching this race and love watching us when we're up front. So just keep plugging away at it.
First career quick time with the Outlaws and the first rookie of the 7 this year to set quick time. Johnny?
Thank you so much, Connor Wade. UMP Modifieds on the program here this evening as well. Bringing you all the action. Greg Cownan and Adam Ross.
We're here, but we're not. There we go. Great to be here. Another beautiful night for dirt track racing. And the UMP Modifieds versus the Canadian Modifieds on hand. Greg Bellier in the 25 machine will be one to watch, but always the stars of the show, Kenny Schrader and Glenn Stiers.
Yeah, they had an epic battle last year, which actually had a little bit of contact involved as well, and Ken is so good when he arrives here. The NASCAR legend loves Ohsweken Speedway. We'd love to have him here, but a lot of stout cars here tonight, 19 in total.
They come from the west and they come from the east.
Another one I'd keep my eye on, there's a pair of 09s tonight. Obviously, Cowboy Dan Price. We all love Dan, right? We keep an eye on him. But that 09 of Joel Dix, another one that's been very good here at Ohsweken Speedway over the years. Wouldn't be surprised if he can pull out the win here tonight as well.
Yeah, he's given Kenny a great battle before, and he's beat him here before.
Brittany Golden, regular down at Brighton Speedway in the 85. Mario Tonioli in the 14, and then you've got the 14M out there as well. That's Matthew Moore from Brighton Speedway. 41 tonight, that'll be Corey Helbert. A good split up field here of, again, what we saw last night, West versus East. The Canadian Modified Division down at Brighton Speedway and the UMP Modifieds that run down at the Buxton Speedway. And then, of course, you've got Glenn Stiers right here in the middle, home track hero, and he's got his friend Ken Schrader here tonight. So good cross-section of different UMP and Canadian Modified drivers here at the Big O.
Checkered flag out on this first hot lap session. Greg Bellier was the quickest in that 25 of the 17.066. Big gap back to Tim Richardson in the 5X. Dennis Lunger all the way from Pennsylvania in the 71L.
That's a name we haven't heard in a while, but Dennis Lunger also very tough in that 71L. So we've got a good group of drivers where it's just not a walkaway here tonight between a couple of drivers. I think there's probably 6 to 8 cars that you wouldn't be surprised if they end up in Slack Lumber Victory Lane.
No, and the track is going to be conducive to that as well. Last night it just got wider and wider. Everyone they interviewed, well, the top 3 in the Outlaws, commented on how you could race on any part of the racetrack, and we saw that with the late models last night. We're going to see it with the modifieds here tonight.
Track a little drier, a little less bite than it had last night, and with these modifieds, they run very skinny tires, not a lot of grip. You have to pedal these cars to get your way to the front, so it's going to be the best driver, not necessarily the best engine, best car, the best driver will walk away with it here tonight.
Field continues to roll slowly around the racetrack. Of course, we've got one night in the books here at Ohsweken before last night. at our opening night with crate sprints, thunder stocks, mini stocks, sportsmen. Now we've had UMP modifieds, Canadian modifieds, 410 sprints. We're really throwing everything at this racetrack earlier than we ever have before.
And just a reminder, no racing tomorrow night, our regular Friday night program. Nothing tomorrow, but we'll be back on Friday, May the 23rd. Full card with our 360 sprints, the crate sprints. Thunder Stocks are running the Brock Leonard Memorial 50 laps early in the season for that one, plus our mini stocks. And when you come to Ohsweken Speedway, there's no boring division. There's no fillers. It's exciting in all 4 divisions.
It really is. You don't often get to call 6-7 wide racing, but with our mini stocks, it's commonplace.
Yeah, if you like restrictor plate racing, that's our mini stock division. It really is.
Very similar.
You lift, you lose.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong at all. They were sorting out everyone's transponders, making sure they had the right car with the right information in the system. I believe they're satisfied with what they've got, and we're going to set them loose, starting with Ken Schrader at a turn number 4.
And Ken Schrader in that car, number 9. Multi-time winner here. Kyle Villaranda in the 11 tonight. Aboard the 8 is Sean McNally. Drew Smith in the 86. The one of Sean Gregory, one of the regulars down at Brighton Speedway.
And the funny thing, these teams, the old South Buxton and Brighton Speedway were bull rings. So they'd come to this racetrack, and it was a huge learning curve. Anymore, Buxton is fairly similar. It's a wide open, high-speed racetrack these days.
Yeah, I don't know as though Buxton could have changed any more. Completely different. The old D shape, the bend was in the front, and a lot of the D-shaped dirt tracks, the bend's in the back, but at Buxton, it's got that bend, had that bend. Now it's big, fast, just like Ohsweken Speedway. So some of these drivers adapt to Ohsweken. They're used to running at home weekly down just south of Chatham. So that concludes hot laps for the UMP Canadian Modifieds. We'll turn things back over to John Gibson.
Thank you, Greg. So practice concluded for the Modifieds. Practice and Honest Day Roofing qualifying in the books for the World of Outlaws NOS Energy Drink Sprint Car Series. Federated Auto Parts Ohsweken Showdown now getting set for competitive action on the Speedway. And that comes up right after this break on DIRTVision.
Time for a Sunday showdown in Canada at Cornwall.
They'll race side by side out of corner number 4. Trying to take the lead. They'll go wheel to wheel to turn 3. Splitting cars in turns 3 and 4 and 3 wide. Trying to power back around. He'll have a run out of turn number 4. We've got a race for the lead out of turn 2.
Take a trip down Victory Lane. Come see the World of Outlaws NOS Energy Drink Sprint Cars near you.
Racing is tough. It's not a sport for the weak, and the winning desire has to flow through your veins. Established in 1993 and only stocked in top-rated manufacturers is why BR Motorsports is your one-stop shop when it comes to your sprint car and midget needs. Call us today at 1-800-328-3333 and talk to racers to get the right parts you need when you need them. BR Motorsports, the leaders in sprint car parts technology.
DIRTVision would like to thank our friends at Elliott's Custom Trailers and Carts for helping us get from track to track.
Looking for a refreshing change? Say goodbye to sluggish performance and reach for the one that won't slow you down.
That's crisp.
Experience the force of clean, pure oil coursing through your engine. No matter what you drive, Wix Filters is the clear choice. Here's to filtration that works as hard as you do. Wix Premium Filters. Performance starts here.
Real American beer, a brand new national treasure.
If this is your idea of ladylike, you're gonna fit right in. Join us at Toyota Racing.
Welcome to our world. A world of dirt, drift, and dodging fate. A world where all of motorsport collides. A world of digging deep, of grit, glory, and bitter defeat. Inhabited by the strong, the fearless, the barely sane. Welcome to our world. Welcome to the world of NOS.
Set now to officially kick off the finale of the Federated Auto Parts Ohsweken Speedway Showdown for the World of Outlaws NOS Energy Drink Sprint Car Series, and send it downstairs to Connor Wade in the infield.
Thank you, John. Honestly, Roofing qualifying already complete, so he races coming up next. It's been such a fun 2 days here at Ohsweken. The fans have been so kind to us with the series and so kind to the drivers, and the Outlaws definitely have enjoyed coming back to Canada here in 2025 and cannot wait for more trips up north here in the future. It's time for one last opening ceremonies at Ohsweken, which of course includes a special presentation as we are a part of the Six Nations Reserve Tribe number 40. So for more about that special presentation, we're going to see the general manager of Ohsweken Speedway, Clinton Jeffrey.
Thanks, Connor. What a great deal it's been to have the Outlaws here. How about it, fans? How great is it to have the Outlaws back at Ohsweken? It's been absolutely amazing. We appreciate all the support on behalf of the Stiers family, our management, and all our staff. Thank you all for coming out. Now, as we do all our big events at Ohsweken, let's kick it off with the Six Nation Smoke Dancers. For the Six Nations Smoke Dancers. Connor, it's been great to have the Outlaws here. Safe travels home. Let's have another fantastic night.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate the hospitality from yourself and Glenn and everybody here at Ohsweken. It's been a memorable night and a half, and this last half night that we're going to have is going to be a lot of fun. This week has been full with a lot of Canadian culture, such as the Smoke Dancer presentation that we just saw, and John Gibson's personalized Canadian-only artist playlist, which includes my personal favorite band, Nickelback, coming up with this song next.
down in the pit area. Drivers lining up for the NOS Energy Drink first heat race. 4 heat races on tap this evening. The distance is 8 laps. The top 5 finishers qualify for the feature, with first and second advancing to the Toyota Dash. We'll set the starting lineup for NOS Energy Drink heat race number 1. On the pole from Columbia, Missouri, tonight's Simpson Quick Time Award winner, Rookie of the Year contender in the SNS Nationwide, CSC Group, LRI, Eagle Stop, Missouri Games, Impact Signs, Abbott Telecom, number 23, Garrett Williamson. On the outside of row 1 from Scotland, Ontario, in the Miska Trailers, Weeks Construction, Ackland Insurance, Hills Racing, Nitro 54, number 47X, Dylan Westbrook. Starting third from Fresno, California, aboard the Iowa Contracting, Carmen Trucking, BSM Enterprises, Creative Planning, number 18, Hot Sauce, Giovanni Selzy. And outside of row 2, the 2015 World of Outlaws winner here at Ohsweken from Niagara-on-the-Lake, Ontario, the Ohsweken Speedway, GSR Chassis, Glenn Stires Racing, Chantarelli Promotions, Core Pack, number 52 of Stuart Friesen. Third row inside, starting 5th, Rookie of the Year contender from Indianapolis, Indiana, the C&D Rigging, Mesilla Valley Transportation, Tully's Heating and Cooling, Steve Beitler Yacht Charters, Hellraiser Jacks, number 6, Zach Hampton. And 6th on the grid from Clay, New York, piloting the pit stop convenience store, Schoenfeld Headers Mucci Motorsports, number 98, Joe Trenka. Starting 7th from Port Jervis, New York, the Sterling Lubricants, Randy's Racing Filters, Paul Waynow Snap-on Tools, number 10V, Billy Van Ingen. To his outside going 8th from Mount Bridges, Ontario, driving the Pride Seeds, Vibrant Farms, APC, Connell's Construction, Reynolds Trucking, number 45, Nick Sheridan. Final row stacks up this way on the inside, starting 9th from Ohsweken, Ontario, in the Aero Express, Babineau Septic Services, JR's Riverside Bait and Tackle, Route 54, Variety and Gas, number 77T, Tyler Paulus. And scheduled to start 10th from Cheektowaga, New York, in the Airport Collision Fiberworks Composites, number 94, Todd Hoddick.